Toys. Most people take them for granted as children's playthings. Consumables received as gifts and played with for a period of time before being discarded. Sure, everyone knows about the special ones. The vintage Star Wars toys. The old G.I. Joe dolls. Action figures. The 1960s Barbies. Everyone knows about Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Cabbage Patch Dolls. You see, there are a lot of them, and there are a lot of them for good reason. Toys sell, and if they don't sell to kids who enjoy playing with them, they sell to the rest of us who never outgrew them. That is, until there's nothing left to buy.
Through the course of the pandemic, we've seen the most mundane of products become the hottest of commodities. Bread, paper towels, Kleenex, and even toys. Yes, sales of toys are up. In our downtime this past year, we've turned to the plastic men and women on our shelves to seek refuge from the microscopic terrors of the world. So we bought toys, and toys, and more toys, and more toys. And more toys. Mattel sales are at a 6-year high. 6-year high. Barbie and Jurassic World lead as Mattel's biggest sellers. Despite the effects of inflation, changes in transportation costs, increases in raw materials, Mattel is booming. In fact, they made $874 million in 2020. And it's not just Mattel. Hasbro sales were up 15% last year over the year before. And Star Wars alone saw a 70% increase in sales. Collectively, the U.S. toy industry was up 16% last year, with sales in excess of $25 billion. With toy sales hitting these kinds of levels, you've got to wonder, where are the toys? Even online, toys are so sparse. What you see online at places like Amazon, Walmart.com, Target.com, and Hasbro Pulse are essentially like a reflection of what you see in the toy aisle at your local store. The popular lines, like the ones that we follow here in BC, are constantly sold out in store and online. You would think that with sales like these, that stores would have toys in their toy aisles, right? Right? Now, perhaps you might say, well, it's because toy sales are so high that you're not finding things in stores, right? Or maybe you're saying that this is anecdotal and that my situation here where I live isn't the same as someone on the other side of America, right? No. Follow any toy collector, toy hunter on YouTube, on social media, on fan sites, and you'll see that this is a widespread thing. This is happening everywhere, absolutely everywhere in the country. The toys just aren't where the toys ought to be, and that's a problem. And interestingly, Hasbro, of all companies, seems to be the hardest hit by this toy drought. When it comes to a company like Spin Master with their 3 3/4 inch Batman assortment, when it comes to Mattel with wrestling, Jurassic World, Disney Pixar, Barbie, Masters of the Universe, they're doing pretty well getting their product out there. Sure, you might not find the latest items nor the entire range of each and every assortment, but Mattel is doing a decent job of representing their various toy lines in the toy aisles. So what's going on with Hasbro? Marvel Legends, Transformers, Star Wars, the Black Series and the Vintage Collection, G.I. Joe. All of these are popular lines that a lot of people collect. And this seems to be largely a Hasbro issue when you go to the store. Again, it's not just my area, it's everywhere. Look at websites, banthaskull.com, Yakface. On social, they're constantly retweeting and posting collectors all over the country. It's the same situation. There's nothing to be found from any of these very popular toy lines that collectors are constantly looking for. And when a new wave of the vintage collection hits stores, all it takes is one collector or a scalper even to come in and clean house, and then that wave is never reordered and it never sees the light of day in that store again. Why is this? Are stores just not ordering enough from Hasbro? Is Hasbro having some sort of supply issues somewhere along the chain? Is it, issues with transportation? These boats just being really backed up at the ports. It could be. Is it that they have some sort of an issue reaching demand? The demand is just so overwhelming that product just sells. There could be a little bit of that in there. Or even worse, is this some plot by Hasbro to deliberately drive up demand and starve the market in a fashion reminiscent of NECA? I mean, these are the serious mysteries of the universe. Like, why is the North Pole and not the South Pole? Or are aliens visiting Earth in flying saucers? They are. And why does Constable Zuvio exist? So yeah, toy sales are definitely up. We can cite the data. We can read these articles. We can go to our store. We can look at other people's stores on social media to see that that's a fact. But I don't think that this information relies too much on things like the latest wave of Masters of the Universe or Star Wars The Black Series or G.I. Joe. I think it has more to do with things like board games, with things like glamour dolls, with things like Baby Yoda. Come on, you guys, you knew I had to sneak Baby Yoda in here somewhere. And that's a problem because you cannot sell what you cannot stock, and you cannot maintain a customer's business without maintaining a steady supply of what they demand. After all, these are toys, and toys are fun, right? They're supposed to be fun, right? At least for those of us who can look past our very specific nitpicks with them and remember to just enjoy them. So I don't know where the toys are, but I can tell you where the toys aren't. And they aren't in your local Walmart or Target toy departments. They aren't in stores, you guys. I've seen slow periods in distribution in all my decades of toy collecting. I've never seen it this bad. After years of declining sales in toys and collectibles, it's really refreshing and really encouraging to see, this new demand for those items. Toys are a reminder of our childhoods, of a time when every child on the block wanted to celebrate their birthday party at Peter Piper Pizza. Of a time when Kenner's Ghostbusters line was all the ghostly rage. A time before college and taxes and driving our spouses crazy by asking them to stop at one more Walmart in the hopes that we would strike plastic gold. They remind us of family, of friends come and gone, of those special memories we made in our most formative years. But most of all, we take solace in the simple comfort that a plastic companion can bring, rekindling the feeling of summer Super Soaker fights and post-Power Rangers themed birthday glory. And many of us are still here doing what we know how to do, hunt toys and collect them all. My name is Victoria, and this is Victoria's Cantina. Toys have found us. Now we need to find them.